Have you ever seen a team win and there's kids that you can tell they don't feel part of it and they're not really like in the mix in the celebration, kind of standing maybe a little bit out, and you just know that they get in the car and they're crying and they want to throw the trophy or the thing out the window because they didn't feel part of it. So to your point, the first two pieces are really important. I think you can win without a team bond. I just don't think it's ethically right to win without a team bond. What you're talking about, I don't think is necessary to win, because we've all seen teams where they haven't had that. We've gone to a tournament and the second goalie plays one game in the tournament. The rest of the time they don't play. Because we picked the team that sucked the most on hockey, whatever they call it. What's the rankings? Okay, that team's rated 46, so that means our backup goalie sucks. They can play that game, and then they'll feel like part of it. That's not how it works. My argument to it is you have an ethical responsibility as a minor hockey coach. When I say minor hockey, I mean AAA, midget, all the way down. That's minor hockey. This is an elective. They could be doing anything else. This is an elective. And they pay a ridiculous amount of money to do this elective. And it's not their fault that when they showed up, that they were slightly below the level of the league. It's not their fault. And that you need 9 forwards. And so I'm now in, but I'm not really prepared to be on this team. I'm not really prepared. So it's not my fault. And now I happen to be in this situation because there wasn't 3 kids better than me. And now I'm here. And if there were 3 kids better than me, well, I'd be on the team I'm supposed to be on. You have an ethical responsibility to find a way to get every kid to be able to play. And your goal is to be in the championship game and not make any moves in which, Sally is at the door, ready to go out for her turn, and you pull her back, put Tiffany in front, and move Sally back. As soon as you do that, Sally, she's out. She doesn't give a shit if you win anymore. She's done. She is done. And she should be done. She should be done with you because you let that kid down. That is not her fault. She tried out. She made the team. Once she's on the team, you're responsible for her. It's your job to build her up. Why can't you take a random moment in the second period and you say, hey, this is the most important shift of the game. Sally, you're in. Yeah, you're in. We need you. We need you to make a play here. So she gets out there and she's running maniac like crazy to try to make something happen. She comes off. It's high fives for everybody. Sally, unbelievable. You were great. How does Sally feel? She feels fantastic. Now you get to the third period. You got a kid who feels like she's 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Give her a job. She goes out and she does it. She feels part of it. That's your job. Regardless of capacity, your job, your ethical responsibility is to put this kid on the ice when it's her turn, regardless. And if she's not ready to play, that's on you. You didn't see the other team's roster. You didn't know which line they had was going out first. And you knew that on the other team, their top line is a kid that you probably shouldn't have Sally out there against. It's your job to make sure that Sally goes out against the kid she's supposed to. And if the other coach wants to monkey around with their lines, they can do that. But your job is to find a way for her to survive. First, survive, then contribute, and then thrive. It's not a requirement to winning. It's an ethical responsibility you have to every kid on that team. Your job is to get this kid to love hockey, to want to come back next year, to want to contribute, to be a part of a team, to be involved with a group, to feel what it's like to be important. That's an ethical responsibility that you have. And we don't talk about it in those terms, and I do. We talk about it like, well, the last 5 minutes are mine, like I can do what I want the last 5 minutes. Or we've also seen the coach where like the top line's out there for 1 minute and 20 seconds. And the bottom line, like they go out for 20 seconds. I'm just praying for a whistle. As soon as the whistle happens, you're off. Well, you got your shift, but it's still a tremendous imbalance. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. And this is the most important thing of this that I want to tell you. I was the guy I'm telling you not to be. I was that guy. I was the guy that walked in first practice of the year. Hey, you know what? We do things. It's not equal. It's fair. I did all that. Oh, I get the last 5 minutes as a coach, and I'm going to make these. Sometimes it's my responsibility, like to get you to the next game. So every kid, like we're going to go in the quarterfinals. And if we do enough to win, everybody gets to play in the semis. So that's bullshit. Everyone's not playing the semis. The top kids are playing the semis. And these other guys are just riding around waiting. And then they get screwed in the end all the time. We need to come to a realization that once you pick the kid, it's on you to create a safe environment in which they can play, enjoy the time with their teammates. They're not made to feel less than. You find a strength. Maybe the kid's no good at hockey. That's okay. But maybe they're just a great kid. Maybe they're the life and soul of the dressing room. And if they're not, make them. Bring out their personality. The reason that they're not is they feel uncomfortable. They feel less than. So now their personality doesn't come out. Find a way to get them involved, to get them to feel like they're belong. The worst place to be on a hockey team is unimportant to the success of the hockey team. So I love the question. I think you can win without team chemistry. I think you can. I think it's proven all over the place, especially in minor hockey, because all I need is one more kid who can be a difference maker than you, and I'm probably going to win. What you're talking about, I think, is a greater issue. I love that you include it as part of the path of that you're doing, but I think it's bigger than that. It's an ethical responsibility. And if I was in charge of an organization and I saw any coach move Sally in any way, shape, or form, that would be that coach's last day. If I had to coach every team myself, I will not allow someone to do that to a kid. It happens way too much, and we can justify it any way we want. You can talk about AAA. Listen, the kid tried out for AAA. It's not their fault. You don't have 9 kids that are exactly the same. It's not their fault. The only reason you're picking me, and I'm the 9th, 4th, the only reason you're picking is because you need me to pay. Because truth be told, you probably wouldn't have me if you probably wouldn't want me. If you could have 8, you would have picked 8. Let's be honest. Let's talk about this on an honest level. And I think the more we do that, we can start saying, okay, yeah, the truth is we can't afford to run this team without you. So that makes you important. Now, you can't afford to have me treat you badly or less than. And the truth of the matter is you're not less than. You're a great kid. You have certain gifts. It just so happens you're not further along, or the way you process the game is not at a level that's the same as the best kids. That's okay. You have other things. You have other things that we can do. And it's my job to make you functional when you play. And I'm going to make you feel like you belong. And I'm going to come up with these random moments in a game that make you feel 10 foot tall and bulletproof. Because that's my ethical responsibility to every single kid on the team. That's my soapbox for you. But I was the wrong guy. I was the wrong guy. I'm not talking about this hypocritically. I'm talking about this from if I'm so embarrassed by the way I behaved when I was younger and stupid. And I'm trying to learn from that and now share that with people who are in that. They're me. They're me, and they're making these decisions. And I want you to think about what you're doing, because that kid is going to go on and do something great. And it's not necessarily going to be in hockey. And they're going to leave that rink thinking you're an asshole. Is that really what you want? I want every kid to think that I want them to remember me as a coach. They're going to remember one or two coaches and one or two teachers. I want to be on the mix. I don't want to be the person they can't wait to forget. And you can win every championship you want all year. If I don't feel part of it, you're an asshole.